From the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. But first, the headlines. The Royal Academy of Management reviews its strategy programs to be launched and its continuous efforts to develop national leaders. The Conference of Innovation and the Future of Government Work reviews in Muscat international experiences to promote the culture of innovation in government work. The foundation stone is laid for the construction of Mahmoud Hospital in Al-Wusta Governorate on an area exceeding 18,000 square meters. And the completion rate of the transformer stations Al-Marouj and Sahlnout 3 reached 57% and are expected to be completed within the last quarter in this year. Thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sends a Kabul greetings to His Majesty King Carl XVI, Gustav of the Kingdom of Sweden, on the occasion of his country's National Day. The Board of Trustees of the Royal Academy of Management highlighted on its second meeting the directives of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq when he patronized over the inauguration of the Academy, which consolidated developing human capital and leadership through systematic programs and discussions. The board also highlighted the directives to enhance communication and government integration to develop intellectual content in a bid to enhance Oman's future's readiness and to position Oman among the top ranks of developed countries. Board members discussed recent strategies and accomplishments, as well as the launch of upcoming programs. Emphasis was laid on grooming national leaders at various levels of management and providing the public and private sectors with empowered and qualified leaders. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court. His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nu'mani, Minister of the Royal Office, received today His Excellency Salah ad-Din Al-Hajj Mohammed Kendo, Ambassador of the Republic of Sudan, accredited to the Sultanate of Oman. His Excellency welcomed the guest, stressing the bilateral relations between the two countries, wishing that the Republic of Sudan would enjoy security and stability. For his part, the guest expressed his thanks and appreciation to the Sultanate of Oman, and a number of issues of common concerns were discussed. His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nu'mani, Minister of the Royal Office, received His Excellency Christian Bronemeyer, Ambassador of the Republic of Austria, accredited to the Sultanate of Oman, to bid him farewell at the end of his duties in the Sultanate of Oman. His Excellency, the Minister of the Royal Office, welcomed the guest. For his part, His Excellency, the Ambassador, expressed his pride and appreciation for the cooperation he received from all officials in the Sultanate of Oman, praising the bilateral relations between the two countries. His Excellency, the Minister of the Royal Office, also thanked the Ambassador for the efforts he made to strengthen the existing relations between his country and the Sultanate of Oman during the performance of his work, wishing him continued success. The knowledge economy, sustainable development, and the role of innovation in enabling Oman Vision 2040 were the most prominent discussions of the Innovation Conference and the future of government work. The conference was held under the auspices of Her Excellency Dr. Rahma bint Ibrahim Al Mahrouqiya, Minister of Higher Education, Scientific Research and Innovation.
Innovation is an important factor in government transformation and the success of future governments in the modern management of all state institutions. The Oman 2040 vision has set innovation as a main and common axis for all its strategic goals. In this context, the Innovation Conference and the future of government work in Muscat discussed many topics, including the knowledge economy, sustainable development, and digital transformation, and the role of innovation in enabling Oman's vision.
We are very glad to be here with our colleagues, brothers and sisters in the Sultanate of Oman to share our experience of hosting a successful World Cup in Qatar 2022. Innovation is a main part of hosting this tournament. This tournament was faced with a number of challenges since day one. Just to give you a glimpse and some examples, the weather, for instance, or the compact nature of this tournament. However, we believed in challenges. We believed in that every challenge comes with an opportunity.
The conference, organized by the Ministry of Labour in cooperation with the Media Thought Foundation, shed light on innovation in government work, building a culture of innovation and partnership between the public and private sectors, in addition to reviewing local and international expertise and the issue of privatization in the GCC countries and the frameworks for its success.
This conference comes to discuss a very important topic for Oman. Digital transformation and innovation is the key pillar of the development of the future, and it is one of the pillars of the Vision 2040 for the Sultanate. We are very keen to help as Omantel in this journey and to support different entities, whether it is government or non-government, in order to achieve the objectives of the digital transformation and innovation of Oman.
The conference seeks to achieve excellence in the government sector, disseminate innovations, promote knowledge economies, and the role of innovation in sustainable development and economic diversification, and its importance to the national economy, besides the role of innovation and technology and their relationship to economic growth.
Now to the Governorate of Al Wusta. The Minister of Health celebrated laying the foundation stone for the construction of Mahout Hospital in Al Wusta Governorate. The project aims to strengthen the health system in the Sultanate of Oman and make it comprehensive and integrated. The hospital area will be more than 18,300 square meters out of the total land area of 400,000 square meters. The celebration was held under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Hilal bin Ali Al-Sabti, Minister of Health. The completion rate for the two projects of Al Marouj Transformer Station in Awqad area and the Sahlanut 3 Transformer Station in the Sahlanut area in the Far reached 57%. It is expected that these two projects will be completed in the last quarter of this year. Meanwhile, the completion rate of the transformer station projects in Niabat of Tawi Atir in the Wilaya of Mirbat has reached 41%. It is hoped that it will be completed and operated in the first quarter of next year. The total cost of these projects amounted to approximately 9 million Omani Riyals. Nama, the Fire Services Company, confirmed that it is improving the electricity network in the governorate to secure the provision of electricity power and water resources to keep pace with the increase in demand during the Kharif season. His Excellency Salim bin Mohammed Al Mahrouqi, Minister of Heritage and Tourism, received His Excellency Ahmed bin Aqil Al Khatib, Minister of Tourism at the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. During the meeting, they agreed on the joint touristic initiatives as a first phase covering the fields of promoting and marketing, activating tourism legislation and cooperation in the field of air linking and the seasonal flights, in addition to developing joint touristic programs in camping and adventure fields and support the small and medium enterprises in the tourism sector. His Excellency Yaqub bin Mohammed Al Harthi, Deputy Chairman of Shura Council, received His Excellency Mujtaba Dhu An-Nouri, Deputy Chairman of Shura Council of Iran. The two sides discuss aspects of cooperation between the Sultanate of Oman and the Islamic Republic of Iran at various legislative fields, as well as continuous coordination between both councils in a number of international issues of mutual concern. Now to Sudan. Clashes between Sudan's warring parties escalated in the capital Khartoum following the expiration of the fragile ceasefire deal that had brought some respite from a weeks-long conflict. The fighting between the Sudanese armed forces and the rival rapid support forces has persisted despite repeated truce. The latest agreement, which expired on Saturday evening, was signed in Jeddah of Saudi Arabia on May 20th between representatives of the two sides for 7 days of humanitarian assistance. The deal was then extended for an additional 5 days on May 30th. Clashes also intensified in the western region of Darfur, where at least 40 civilians were killed. Governor Mini Arko Minawi declared Darfur a disaster zone and called for the international community to provide the region with emergency humanitarian aid. To Russia. Russia said today it had begun holding naval drills in the Baltic Sea a day after NATO member states kicked off their annual Baltic drills. On the NATO side, 6,000 personnel, 50 ships and more than 45 aircraft are taking part, with Finland participating for the first time as an alliance member. The Russian military said up to 40 ships, boats, 25 aircraft and around 3,500 personnel will take part in its exercises, which are scheduled to just last until June 15th. Moscow also began drills in the Sea of Japan and Far Eastern Sea of Okhotsk, which will involve over 60 warships and support vessels from its Pacific Fleet. Meanwhile, Russia's Pacific Fleet forces have started operational exercises in the waters of the Sea of Japan and the Sea of Okhotsk that will last until June 20th. Video footage released today by Russia showed several Navy ships sailing out from port of Vladivostok and naval exercises being conducted at sea. The drills are happening amid Russia's war in Ukraine when it first sent troops into Ukraine on February 24th last year. Now back here in the Sultanate of Oman, a workshop was held here today on a program to boost the national intellectual property system and ongoing cooperation projects between the Sultanate of Oman and the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO. The two-day workshop comprises visual presentations and sessions on ongoing cooperation projects, notably those related to the specifying training materials in intellectual property. The workshop discussed scopes for establishing a national training center to be entrusted with intellectual property affairs, opportunities and challenges facing intellectual property. In this context, the workshop reviewed the national strategies for intellectual property that support the Oman Vision 2040 and innovative industries that facilitate economic growth. Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry will organize next August Muscat Awards exhibition and forum for investment opportunities in the tourism sector. The exhibition and forum aim to introduce opportunities, projects, incentives and facilities offered to investors in this sector. The event includes discussions and sessions to review issues related to the tourism sector in the Sultanate of Oman. The roles and contributions of youth in society were the highlight of a regional workshop organized by the United Nations Women in partnership with the Arab Women Organization. The workshop focused on gender equality within families and the contribution of men in raising children. The aim of the workshop was to promote the culture of gender partnership in family tasks to enhance the harmony and cooperations within Arab families. Different examples from Arab communities of engaging men in domestic work were reviewed, along with the results of such practices in creating a healthy family. The workshop witnessed the participation of 50 government representatives and experts from different Arab countries. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Royal Academy of Management reviews its strategy programs to be launched and its continuous efforts to develop national leaders. A Conference of Innovation and the Future of Government Work reviews in Muscat international experiences to promote the culture of innovation in government work. The foundation stone is laid for the construction of Mahout Hospital in Al Wusta Governorate on an area exceeding 18,000 square meters. And the completion rate of the transformer station Al Marouj and Sahlanut 3 reached 57% and are expected to be completed within the last quarter in this year. And with that, we also complete this news bulletin. Thank you for joining us and good night.